I was nursing a lukewarm beer at my cousin's wedding out on the sprawling Thompson Ranch in Montana. The kind of place where the big sky stretches forever and the air smells like pine and fresh-cut hay. Weddings in these parts are big deals: barbecues, line dancing, and enough cowboy boots to outfit a rodeo. I'd come alone, figuring I'd blend into the background like I always do, practicing my Irish goodbye while watching folks two-step under string lights. That's when she appeared. A woman in a simple sundress the color of sagebrush, her smile fixed, but her eyes darting like a deer spotting a coyote. "Please," she whispered, stepping close without invading my space. "Pretend you're my date for a bit." Behind her, across the dance floor set up in the old barn, a guy in a crisp button-down and jeans was staring holes through the crowd. He had that coiled look, like a rattlesnake ready to strike. This wasn't some rom-com setup. I could feel the tension radiating off her. I set my beer down on a hay bale, met her gaze steady, and said, "Okay, what's the play?" Her name was Emily. She told me under her breath, keeping that polite grin for the relatives milling about. My ex, Brad, showed up uninvited. He's not supposed to be within 500 feet of me, court order. But he's watching, and I need to get to the head table where my family is. My cousin, the groom, knows the score. "Just walk with me till I'm safe." "Ryan," I introduced myself, offering my arm like we'd done this 100 times. She took it firm, not clingy, the way you'd grip a saddle horn on a bucking horse. There was a slight shake in her elbow, but her steps were sure-footed across the gravel path. I positioned myself to block his line of sight, casual-like.
"No macho pasturing."
The band struck up a classic country tune, George Strait crooning about Amarillo by morning, as laughter erupted from a group of aunts trading stories by the bonfire. Out here in the West, weddings are half celebration, half endurance test, smiles for the photos. But everyone's got their own baggage tucked away, like a concealed carry permit. "Books," she said out of nowhere, like we were picking up a conversation midstream. "If anyone asks, we met at that little bookstore in Bozeman." "Solid," I replied. "Happens to be my go-to spot anyway, back corner with a creaky chair. Fighting the dim light 'cause who needs easy?" Her lips twitched into a real smile for the first time. "You read westerns or what?"
"Nah.
"Mysteries mostly." Keeps the brain sharp. Like tracking elk trails. She nodded. Like she got it. The way folks out here respect self-reliance without spelling it out. We reached the head table, strung with fairy lights and wildflower centerpieces, and she let out a breath that sounded like wind through the pines. The groom, my cousin Jake, stood up quick, his Stetson tipped back, eyes scanning the crowd like a rancher spotting trouble in the herd. Broad shoulders, calloused hands from years wrangling cattle, but a soft spot for family. He said low. "You all right?" "Not really," she answered, keeping it light as a handshake. "Can you grab Rita?" Rita was the ranch manager, all business in her Wranglers and boots, clipboard in hand like a sheriff's badge. She materialized fast.
"No nonsense."
The type who'd stare down a blizzard. Emily pulled out her phone, showing the digital copy of the restraining order, clear as day, issued by the county court in Missoula. She nodded toward the bar area, where Brad lurked. "Stay put where eyes are on you," Rita said, voice steady as a fence post.
"We'll sort this."
We hung back, not frozen, but visible. I rested my hand on the back of her chair, staking a quiet claim without overstepping. Toasts kicked off, Jake's best man cracking jokes about roping the perfect partner. Glasses clinking like spurs. A kid in tiny cowboy boots banged a spoon on a mason jar.
Giggling.
Brad shifted at the bar, his stare like a branding iron. Tell me something real about you, I said to Emily. To keep your head here, not there. Minds wander less when they've got anchors. I'm a teacher, she replied. High school English and Billings. Memoirs and lit that hits home. But only if the voice rings true, which ain't often. Software guy here, I shot back. Build apps for ranchers, scheduling feeds, tracking herds. Basically, help folks keep their promises to the land and each other. That's poetic for code, she said, a hint of warmth breaking through. You leave room for detours? Always. You got a backup plan in your saddlebag or just wing it? In my head mostly. The bag's got enough weight already. Like that court paper. I thought. But didn't say. She didn't flinch at the unspoken. Out here, folks read between the lines. Brad made his move during the maid of honor's toast, striding over like he owned the ranch. Clean-shaven, boots polished, but that entitled swagger screamed city boy playing cowboy. Emily, he drawled, ignoring me like I was just another fence post. His eyes raked over her. Possessive. Don't talk to me, she said, voice even as a horizon line. Leave now. You ghosted my calls, he pressed, faking concern like a bad actor in a Western flick. I'm her date, I interjected.
Come.
No heat. Escalation's a fool's game in these wide-open spaces. Time to mosey on. He leaned in closer. But Rita flanked him with a security guy from the ranch crew, big fella named Hank. Built like a draft horse. You're violating a protective order, Rita stated, holding a printout like evidence in a trial. Walk away. Or we call the sheriff. I'll be the one swearing to it in court. Brad did the math, small town. Word travels faster than a prairie fire. He backed off with a glare that said this ain't over, but turned tail. Emily's shoulders eased a notch. The table noise swelled back, clinking plates. Whoops from the dance floor. Jake popped a beer tab, too loud, startling a table of uncles who laughed it off. Thanks, Emily murmured to Rita, then softer to me. You don't owe me words, I said. Let's just soak in the good vibes while they're flowing. She eyed me curious. You always talk like a poet hiding in boots. Only when someone's listening. Otherwise, it's just me and my truck radio. We stuck through the dances. The cake cutting, chocolate with raspberry filling. Montana style. Jake and his bride swayed to some old Willie Nelson, her laughing into his flannel shirt. We nibbled cake. Stayed on the lit edges. Not hidin' but not in trouble. Safety out here ain't always about guns. It's folks watchin' each other's backs. Like herdin' cattle through a storm. As the night wore on, the bonfire crackled higher, casting shadows long across the ranch yard. Emily and I traded stories like trading cards at a flea market, small ones, to keep things light. My mom taught me to flip a coin for tough calls, she said. Not to follow it, but to feel which way my gut pulls while it's spinning. Smart, I replied. My dad was a ranch hand turned mechanic, set a good bolts like a promise. Tighten it right or don't bother. A little boy in overalls chased fireflies. His mom scooping him up before he wandered too far. Hank chuckled at something Rita said over her walkie-talkie. Easin' the watch. Brad slunk by once more near cleanup time, throwing a smug half-smile like he was leaving a tip. Hank stepped up, silent but solid, and Brad vanished into the night like smoke. We lingered till the lights flickered on, signal in the end. In the parking lot, trucks revving under a star-studded sky, the air crisp with that Montana chill. Hungry? I asked, 'cause sometimes food's the best anchor after chaos. Starvin', she admitted. And I ain't keen on headin' home to jump at every coyote howl. There's a diner off Highway 90, open late.
No judgments.
We walked to my truck. Silence comfortable as worn leather seats. The diner was a neon beacon in the dark. Booths patched with duct tape. Counter where a grizzled cook flipped burgers like he'd been doing it since Lewis and Clark passed through. The waitress called us darlin' and poured coffee strong as diesel. We didn't play act, just two folks who dodged a bullet. She stirred her mug. Hand steady now. A faint scar on her knuckle from who knows what. Thanks again, she said. Mayin' it. You made standin' tall easier. You did the heavy liftin', I countered. Askin's the hard part. I've dodged it myself plenty. Her smile flickered. Haven't asked for much lately. Got out of the habit. I make checklists when life's buckin'. Call 'em strategies, so they feel official. She nodded, like recognizing an old trail. We swapped maps of ourselves. She teaches lit that sticks to kids' ribs. I code tools for trackin' water rights and grazing rotations. She keeps quotes on her phone that pulled her through rough patches. I carry a multi-tool everywhere, cause fixin's better than frettin'. She skips the shortcuts home when stars are out. I blast classic rock to drown doubts. No raisins for her. Too chewy. Black coffee for me. Bitter as life's lessons. She opened up about leavin' Brad, not for pity. For context. The locksmith in Billings who double-checked her ID with a nod of respect. No questions. First night alone. She left the porch light burnin' defiant. I shared how I quit sayin' yes to favors that left me resentful. How quiet winds look borin' from afar. Can I get your number? She asked. Cautious as testin' thin ice.
Yeah.
I scribbled it on a napkin, handing it over like a handshake deal. Coffee sometime?
Daytime.
Public spot. Send the details. We met Tuesday at a coffee shop in downtown Bozeman. Brick walls lined with local art. Smell of fresh grounds mix in with mountain air. She picked the seat, fastened the door, smart. I brought no expectations, just showed up in my cleanest flannel. She slid a folder across. Copies of the order. Ranch incident log. Old text screen capped for her lawyer. You're thorough, I said, admirin' the prep. Learnin' to be decadent upfront what I'll tolerate. It's like postin' no trespass signs. Write one for my fridge. Dishes can wait till dawn. She laughed genuine. We bantered light. Her museum trip seein', ancient arrowheads unearthed, my code that streamlined a buddy's irrigation app. Earning me a six-pack. No talk of Brad, he didn't earn space. We picked a safe word. Saddle. Ordinary enough to slip in. Mayonnaise bail now. Practiced at Logan. Tinin prep into play. I slipped into talkin' about Dad again, how he taught fixin' fences as listenin' to the wires hum. Tension's key, he'd say. Too loose. It fails. Too tight. It snaps. She shared more on her mom. The coin flips revealin', true wants midair. Flipped one last week, heads for new paths. Tails reclaimin' old. Landed tails. But I chose heads. Ease is okay. You bet it is, I affirmed. Seein' it settle in her. Brad texted, once more. Violatin again. We were at the Bozeman Farmers Market, pickin' heirloom tomatoes, when her phone buzzed. She glanced, forwarded it straight to her lawyer, no shake this time. Later, on a bench overlookin' the Gallatin River, she summed it, faux apology laced with hooks. Court extended the order. Judge. Sharp as a tack. Cited patterns.
No leniency.
The ranch sent their report, paper trail solid as bedrock. Rita bumped into us at the market. Said she's stockin' forms now, 'cause Montana women deserve tools to hold ground. We thanked her. She shrugged like it was just mendin' fence. We stroll past the ranch sometimes, headin' to hikes or whatnot. The gatekeeper nods respectful, tippin' his hat to Emily. We've built routines. Coffee Tuesdays. Trail walks Fridays if skies cooperate.
Then,
We gear up. Decedent, who holds the map. She sends lit snippets where folks save each other quiet like. I reply with calendar tweaks. Her nudging me to carve breathe in room. Emily's laugh comes easier now. Not forced. Like wildflowers pushin' through after a hard winter. She's let some walls down. Wearin' brighter scarves that catch the sun without apology. But life's no straight trail. Twists come. One evening, after a hike up Highlight Canyon, she got quiet in the truck. Brad's family's stirrin' trouble, she said. His uncle's a big shot rancher near Livingston, claims I'm smearin' the name. Turned out, Brad had spun tales to kin, paintin' her as the villain. Family drama out here runs deep as river canyons, loyalty's blood thick. But so's denial. I listened. No fix-it mode. What's your move? Lawyers on it, countersuit if needed. But it hurts. You know? His folks were like mine once. We pulled over at a viewpoint. Mountains purple in dusk. Revenge crosses my mind, she admitted. Exposing his lies public. But that'd make me like him. Smart holdin' back, I said. Out here, feuds fester like untreated wounds. Better heal clean. She nodded. Squeezin' my hand brief, trust buildin' like stackin' stones. Next week, mystery deepened. Emily's phone rang anonymous. Hang-ups. Then a voicemail. Back off. Or regret it. We reported it. Sheriff traced to a burner. But Prince led to Brad's cousin, a hothead named Tyler. Legal wheels turned. Harassment charges filed. Clear violation stackin' on the order. At the hearin' in the county courthouse, a squat buildin' with views of the Absaricas, Emily testified steady. Facts like bullets in a chamber. Brad showed. Lawyers slick as oil. But evidence mounted. Texts. Logs. Witnesses from the wedding.
Judge.
A no-frills woman who'd seen her share of domestic storms. Ruled firm. Order permanent. Finis. Community service for Brad. Tyler got probation. But humane twist. Judge-mandated counseling for Brad, anger management. The works. Son, she said, this ain't about winning. It's fixin' what's broke inside. Emily didn't gloat, saw it as a chance for him to change. Light lesson in accountability. Post-hearin'. We drove to Yellowstone's edge. Watchin' bison roam. Feels like closin' a gate, she said.
No revenge.
Just boundaries. That's strength, I replied. West teaches that. Respect the land. It respects you back. Our connection deepened. Family ties weaving in. Met her folks at their small spread near Big Timber. Dad a retired forester. Mom a quilter with stories longer than the Missouri. They grilled steaks. Shared laughs about my codin' cowboy apps. Jake and his wife hosted a barbecue, where Emily and I danced slow to some Johnny Cash.
No pretense.
But shadows lingered. One night, campin' by the Madison River, she woke from a nightmare. Brad chasin'. I held space, listenin' as she unpacked. The controls started subtle. I saw it in her from friends, then escalated to trackin' her phone. Leavin' took plannin', Savon Cash quiet. Lawyer from a women's shelter in Helena. You rebuilt, I said. Like fencin' after a flood. She smiled faint. With help like you at the weddin'. Mystery element surfaced. Turned out, Brad's family had hid his past, prior restrainin', order from an ex in Wyoming. Emily's lawyer dug it up, using it not for vengeance, but to bolster her case. It humanized things, showed patterns ain't isolated. Families enable sometimes out of love gone wrong. We attended a support group in Bozeman, folks sharing stories of breakin' free. Emily spoke once. Voice strong. A skin for help ain't weakness. it's claiming your ground. Lesson light but profound. Communities lift when individuals stand. Our days filled. Hike in Bridger Bowl. Fish in the Gallatin. I taught her basic code. She assigned books like Lonesome Dove, Discus Sin, themes of resilience. Touch came natural, hands brushing on trails. Hugs ling Aaron. Brad faded, but caution stayed. We installed better lights at her place. A ranch-style house on the outskirts. One evening, sipping whiskey by her fire pit, she said, "This feels real, not rebound." "It is," I affirmed. Built on solid rock. Family drama peaked at a reunion. Brad's uncle approached Emily private. Apologizing gruff. Didn't know the full story. He's getting help now. She accepted.
No gracias, umane cloucher.
As seasons shifted, Montana's fall painted Aspen's gold, we navigated deeper waters. Emily's teach-in brought drama. A student confided similar troubles at home. She guided Em to resources. Clear on legal steps, reporting orders of protection. Law's a tool, she told me later. Not a weapon. Use it right. It levels the field. I faced my own ghosts. Dad's passing, years back from a heart attack on the job. Talked it out with her. How guilt lingered for not visiting more. You carried his lessons, she said. That's honor. Light lesson. Forgive yourself to move forward. Revenge whispers came once, anonymous online post bashing Brad. Emily suspected a friend, but shut it down. That poison spreads, she said. Instead, she volunteered at the shelter, sharing her path, humane-like. Mystery unraveled further, digging into Brad's past for court prep. We found he'd forged docs in a land deal, family cover-up. Lawyer advised reporting. Authorities investigated, lead into charges. Not vengeance, but justice, clear legal lines drawn. At trial, Brad pled guilty, getting probation, restitution. Judge noted counsel in progress. Change starts with owning up. Emily felt relief. Not triumph, lesson in redemption's possibility. Our bond strengthened amid this. Winter brought ski trips to Big Sky, cozy nights by wood stoves. Family integrated. Her niece called me Uncle Ryan at Christmas.
Jectisa, bourring.
But tension spiked. Brad violated again, showing at her school parking lot. She called sheriff immediate, arrested on spot. In court, evidence airtight, cameras, witnesses. Sentenced to jail time. Short but firm.
Post that.
Emily bloomed. Started writing a blog anonymous. Sharing stories for others. Humane. No names. If it helps one person, ask for help, she said. We traveled west, Grand Teton hikes, Yellowstone geysers. Discuss futures. Merge levs? No rush, I said. Like break in a horse, gentle winds. Spring brought renewal. At a local fair, Brad's family nodded distant respect. No drama, just coexistence. Emily's lesson echoed. Revenge chains you, justice frees. Mine, stand-in with someone builds unbreakable ties. We delved into psychology, her reading on trauma, me on support roles. Attended workshops, learning healthy boundaries. Family's secrets unveiled. Her aunt had similar past. Bond in them closer. One storm night. Power out. We shared fears by candlelight. Thought I'd never trust again, she confessed. You showed me strangers can become anchors. I admitted loneliness pre-wedding. You pulled me from hiding. Summer rodeo season. We cheered friends, feeling part of something bigger. Brad's release loomed. We prepped legal, emotional. He reached out via lawyer, apology letter. No contact promised. She read it, Felt closure. People can change if they choose. Our story's humane arc, from fake date to real partnership. Lessons in empathy. Legal clarity.
Community.
With Brad's chapter closing, we focused forward. Emily got promoted department head. Shaping curricula with social psych elements. Teaching kids spot toxic patterns early. I expanded my app business. Add in features for rural safety networks, alerts, resource links. Your influence, I told her. Family drama resolved humane. Brad's folks invited her for coffee. Genuine amends. We enabled too long, his mom said. Emily forgave. Light bridge built. Mystery lingered light, anonymous gift at her door. Books on healin'. We suspected Brad. But no threat, just gesture. Progress, she mused. Our routines deepened. Weekly dates at hole-in-wall spots. Volunteerin' together at trails cleanups. Touchstone words, saddle and used. Replaced by home, Mayanene's safe harbor. 1 anniversary of the wedding. We returned to the ranch. Jake hosted a vow renewal. We danced under same lights. From stranger to this, she whispered. Proposal came natural on a overlooked trail. Ring simple as Montana gold. Will you? Yes. Wedding small. Ranch set. Family close. Lesson light. Life's twists teach. Ask for help. Offer it freely. Justice over revenge heals all.
Years on.
Kids came, teachin' and coin flips for decisions. Sandin would with intention. Emily's blog turned book. Inspirin' others. Brad? Reformed. We heard. Counselor now. Helpin' men change. Our story. Shocking start. Unexpected bonds. In the American West, where skies are big and hearts bigger, we found humanity in standin' together. Word count, 975, expanded with details. We navigated parenthood's dramas, sleepless nights, school plays. Emily's classes discussed our tale anonymized. Sparklin' debates on ethics.
Law.
A family secret emerged. My great-uncle's old feud resolved similar legal paths over gunslinging. History teaches, I said. Revenge never tempted again. Growth did. We hiked. Read. Built life's mosaic. Endin' humane, in a world of shadows. Choose light. Stand for others. It circles back.